Welcome to Airborne on staugustine.com here at the Eclipse Recording Company. We have a special guest in the studio today, as always. I want to welcome Zach McKenna. Zach is with the St. Augustine Echo Tours. Welcome, Zach.
Nice to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's good to have you. What an interesting line of work you've got, huh?
Absolutely. I'm a pretty lucky guy.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the St. Augustine Echo Tours, maybe a little bit of how you got started, your background, and take it from there.
That sounds great. We're coming up on our 4th anniversary in St. Augustine, Florida. And my wife and I started this company after working corporate jobs and as a way to get people on the water and get them interested in the wildlife and the surrounding environments in order to conserve those areas. So we both worked for different outfitters all over the country in years previous. And I was working, on large charter boats at age 14 before I could drive.
Is that right?
So being on the water, boats has been second nature to me. I grew up on the South Carolina coast, and it was Flagler College that brought me down here.
Oh, no kidding.
So after getting a degree in business, did a couple of corporate gigs, some of them good, some of them bad, but I had the opportunity to get back on the water and we went for it, and it's been very successful so far.
So your office is the Great Matanzas Basin, huh?
Exactly, and you choose the vessel. It's different every day for me. Kayaks on some days, these beautiful research boats on other days, kind of Cousteau style, rigid hull inflatables that of course the Coast Guard uses for search and rescue, so they're very good for wildlife observation. And what's really exciting is we just launched a 27-foot catamaran. So that'll be another silent way to, explore the rivers and creeks. It only draws 1 foot, so it can really get back into some neat areas.
Wow. Talking to people who have done some of the kayaking tours, and you do a lot of that, don't you?
Absolutely.
They've often told me that with the kayaking, they can get up, you mentioned drawing water, they can get places the boats with props just can't go.
Exactly. And it's an amazing perspective historically, and just the animals don't seem to mind. And that's kind of the key factor with all the equipment we use. We use the most fuel efficient and quietest motorboats in the world, and they only draw a foot also.
Wow.
So talk about good boats for photography and people with limited abilities. These, we can show anybody, anything they want to see back there.
You mentioned photography. You're right. I guess that gets a perspective again that people might only be able to see in a larger boat from the channel. You can get right up close to wildlife. Huh?
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you're responsible, in your approach and the amount of time that you spend, the animals really respect that, and I think we have quite a relationship over the last 5 years. Whether they recognize me or the boat or something else, we respect their boundaries and get some really nice shots. So,
what are some of the animals people might see on a St. Augustine Echo Tour? Can you share some of us?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest draws for us is the birding available on a 90-minute trip, which is what I recommend for someone who hasn't been with us. You might see 4 dozen species of birds, each one of them with their own story, their own method of success, and their own unique adaptations. And a big draw, which is part of my study, my ongoing study from my master's degree, is the bottlenose dolphin population in the area.
Oh, really?
So the idea is you can't guarantee anything, and we're not the type of company that's even interested in that, but on one of these rigid hull inflatables, you can cover 15 miles in an hour and a half. So your chances of a wild dolphin observation is very, very good. And that, Matt, is an animal that you really got to keep your distance from.
Really?
150 feet is the law. No touching, no feeding, no harassment. All of this punishable by a $20,000 fine.
Good gracious.
So we keep an eye on the people that may not know the rules and give them brochures and that sort of thing. And then, what's nice about that rule, 150 feet is half a football field. So when you stop at that distance and cruise with the current, we drop in underwater microphones so we can listen to them echolocate and communicate. that's when you're going to get the best viewing, because you've given them their space to eat. Remember, these animals never sleep.
Where are some of the places you launch? Where do you set
So
off?
absolutely, the headquarters for this company is at the St. Augustine Municipal Marina. We have a nice relationship with the city.
Oh, that's
and,
great.
I think we have the most commercial dock space there, which is rather expensive but well worth it. But people can walk right off the street onto one of these vessels and be somewhere they never expected to be in 10 minutes. So so that's headquarters for most of the sailboat and the motorized boat. And we have a new program with St. Johns County called Paddle St. Johns County.
Beautiful.
Giving us 17 different paddling locations.
Wow.
And it's it was a contract that we won, and we actually pay the county to do it.
Oh, that sounds like a great time. And this sort of thing as well, you don't just do it once and say, there, I've done it, because there's seasonal aspects, aren't there?
Absolutely.
Tell us about
and I think the reason I can do it for 20 years is I can't wait to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're collecting data on these trips, and you get a different group of birds in the winter than you do in the summer. You get different dolphin behaviors throughout the different seasons. And I think our number one customer, who's a local here, because we're about 50% local, 50% visitor, has been with us 32 times in 4 years.
Really?
And every trip she's mentioned that I talked about something slightly different, or we went in a totally different direction. So the possibilities are limitless as far as what direction we go and what we might find on this adventure.
What do you look for in guides?
Oh man, it's for us, it's been lucky. They've come to us. So we have individuals, I think, picking up the pulse of our company. We do a lot of community service, so they might read about that. We do a lot of animal rescue, whether it be bird, dolphin, manatee. Whatever's hurt, if it's on the water and people can't get it, we go get it.
No kidding.
It fits right into what Melanie was saying from Hawk, because a lot of our animals will end up with her. So we do our best to support her also. Our captains need to be certified captains to the U.S. Coast Guard, so that's a big process.
Right.
The kayaks have to go through special training, and then the sail instructors are also specially trained also. So if you know how to do one of these things, that's only half of it.
Yeah.
Because now we need to teach you the interpretive side.
Right.
And so each one of these guides, regardless of where they come from, biology degree, or maybe they're just a trained naturalist, they'll spend 150 hours with another guide before they're released to do their own trips. And some people get halfway through it and they can handle the boat and they're good at spotting wildlife, but maybe they can't keep the conversation up, or maybe they can't pull the information out of the guests.
Yeah.
And so we've got a wonderful group of people that are all really, really dedicated. This is certainly a job. This is your part-time job. We all have full-time jobs, in order to pay for important things.
Sure. That sounds, though, like a lot of people are ready to leave their little cubicles to do this for a living, though. That's wonderful.
It's really, really nice. So really passionate people that are here to do good. And, with each guide, we get to add a new program, too, based on their ambitions and interests and stuff like that.
The word eco, as in eco tours, gets thrown around a lot and maybe a little too casually, but I know in your case it's intrinsic with what you do. What does it mean to you when you use that term in the very name of your business? The
word eco or eco, thrown into everything that's supposed to be green and better for you. In the beginning, remember, it stands for ecology.
Right.
And ecology is the backbone of this business. It's our educational curriculum. So ecology is defined as the relationship between plants, animals, and their environment. And that's, I think, in one word, it was too perfect for what our goals and our mission was for this area and for some of the projects we have going on.
You sound like someone who looks forward to your day.
Absolutely. Can't wait to get you out there.
I think I'm ready to go. It sounds like a great time. I hope we can have you back as we get into these different seasons and learn more about maybe what people can see in a particular time of year here in Northeast Florida. Could you do that?
I'd love to do that. Sounds great.
Oh, that'd be great to have you. Thank you again. Zach McKenna with St. Augustine Eco Tours. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
You've been Airborne with Matt Jeffs on staugustine.com, bringing interesting people from your world so you can stay dialed into your community and the folks who make it tick. See you next time, everybody.
Airborne rocks.